there's our national champion right there, Drew Clark. Good shot of him as he's getting ready for the big race tonight. 16:50 the mile. Back to Bruce.
Here are the swimmers from heat number 1, men's 1,650-yard freestyle. The national record set last year. Drew Clark, he's the top-seeded time tonight, a 2-time national champion. 15:07.83 set last year. Swimming in lane number 1, already 6th in the 1,000, 4th in the 400 IM from Somerset Valley, Ryan Waters. Lane number 2, this week, 4th in the 1,000, 5th in the 400 IM, 9th in the 500. From Hickory, North Carolina, Ross Dant. Lane number 3 will be a Yukon Husky in the fall, 7th in this event last year, already 3rd in the 1,000, 6th in the 500, 7th in the 200. From the Cheshire Sea Dogs, Carl Bishop. Lane number 4, 2-time defending national champion. He'll be a Florida Gator in the fall from Sarasota, Drew Clark. Lane 5, 3rd in this event last year. He'll be swimming for the Wolfpack at NC State in the fall from Sarasota, Danny Erlenmeyer. Lane 6, last year 4th in this event. Already 5th in the 1,000, 12th in the 200, 7th in the 500. He'll be a Penn Quaker this fall. From Ridley area, Pennsylvania, Matt Haig. Lane number 7, swimming for the Sarasota Y Sharks, Brendan Furley. And in lane number 8, from the Sarasota Y Sharks, Alexander Webby Webster. This is heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
There's a nickname, Webby, out there in lane. For tonight, especially with our 2-time defending champion, Drew Clark, in the center of the pool. We'll keep our eye on his record splits. And once again, we have Waters in lane 1 from Somerset Valley, Dant lane 2. Waters was 12th last year, Dant 14th last year. Carl Bishop in lane 3 was 7th last year. Clark, your defending champion, is in 4. Erlenmeyer was 3rd last year. He's in 5. Haig 4th last year in 6. Furley 8th last year in 7. And Webster was 27th last year. So he's moved all the way up, seeded time of 15:46. Busy week there for our defending national champion, Drew Clark. He won the 1,000, the 2nd in the 500. And he's been an important part on that, was a very important part on the 800 free relay that set the national record. All right, now the early leader is Drew Clark. He'll be coming up on the 150 mark. We'll watch out for his record splits, see how he does against those last year. Right now he's 119.28, followed by Ross Dant from Hickory, North Carolina. Ross was 4th in the 1,000 this week, 5th in the 4 IM, and 9th in the 500. So we'll keep our eye on Ross as he's trying to keep up there with Drew Clark. And as Bruce mentioned, he'll be a Florida Gator coming up in the fall. Here's the 200 split at 146.96. So we'll see where Drew is. He was 146.71 last year. So out pretty quick for Ross Dant. Ross is 15 years old. Webby Webster is 15 years old up top in lane number 8. Once again, lane number 1 at the bottom of your screen if you're watching at home. And welcome to our live stream here from the Greensboro Aquatic Center for our 2016 YMCA National Championships. So 250 in, only 1,400 to go. And right now it's still Drew Clark coming up on the 300 mark. We'll see what Drew's been splitting. 27.55. Ross Dan at 27.76. Everybody else in the 28s right now. So Drew Clark. There's a shot of Dant in the red cap in second. Ryan Waters also down here and looking like he's moving up. He'll be in fourth right now. Erlenmeyer still in third. So 27.35 for Clark, 27.57 for Dant. Good shot right there of Dant and of Clark. So Drew Clark at 3:37.19. Last year he was 3:37.61. So he is under national record pace. Dant is just off of it. He's only a couple tenths above it. There's Jolly down there and right down there, you'll see a couple arms go up if he can get his attention near the flags. Coach John Jolly, you'd love to see his 15-year-old finish up here in the top three. We were used to seeing Turkanu a few years ago, and once again, John Jolly is the distance king down here and seems to be in North Carolina, creating a program and has had a program that's really been on the distance end. So Drew Clark at the 500, 4:32.69, below his national record pace from last year. And Dant is just above it at 4:33.60, followed by Erlenmeyer at 4:38.09. Ryan Waters at 4:38.60 out of lane number 1. We'll see where some of those times were this morning. Top time coming out of this morning's heat, the top three. Nicholas Ortega was 15:48.88. He was 3/100ths behind Jackson Cunningham from Boise. Nicholas Ortega from Westport Weston, Connecticut. He was the third fastest time coming out. Jackson Cunningham, the second fastest time coming out of the morning heats from Boise at 15:48.85. And Riley Pistorius from Somerset Valley, New Jersey was 15:44.20. So those are your 4 fastest times out of this morning's heats. $15.46 for Alexander Webster up there in lane number 8. That he is the lowest seed tonight at 15:46.72. So that gives you a little bit of measurement there. And Drew Clark still maintaining those 27s. Carl Bishop moved up with a 27.90. And Bishop is in lane number 3. Not in the picture right now. There's Clark. Bishop now moving up past, looks like he's moving past Danny Erlenmeyer, and Bishop does. So Clark at 6:23.35, and he's right on it, only 4/100ths above his national record from last year. Boy, Ross Dant's looking good also as he swims by us right there. And there's Carl Bishop moving up to that wall. So Bishop was going to go off. He's going to go off to Yukon and become a Husky this fall. Swim up there. He's from Cheshire, Connecticut. 7th in this event last year. Looking to move up now into the 3rd spot. He's a good finisher, Carl Bishop. And he was 3rd in the 1,000 this week. 7 in the 200 free. And 6th in the 500. So Carl's had a big week here, and I'm sure he's been on a few relays, or at least the 800 relay for the gentleman from Cheshire, Connecticut. There's your halfway mark at 33 lengths. We're on length number 34. And Dant still trying to hang, and he is hanging. Not trying to, but he is hanging with Drew Clark. Clark's at 27.82. Dant actually split faster, 27.71. So he was just a little bit faster than Drew Clark on that last 50. So we have Drew Clark, Ross Dant, Carl Bishop, then Danny Erlenmeyer. And we will be on length number 38. 75 to go to the 1,000 mark. And Drew Clark, he splits 27.53. Dan at 27.76 on that 50. So we'll be coming up on the 1,000. And that'll give them 650 to go after they come down here and make another turn. At the start end of the pool. So here's your 1,000 time, and for Clark, he splits 27.73 at 9:09.41. Just off the national record for the 1,000. And Dant was at 9:11.76. He split 27.88. Bishop split 28.17 at Erlenmeyer 28.40. Waters down here in 28.33. Haig at 28.76 and Furley at 29.14. Those were the splits on that 50 for those top 7. Webster at 29.77. So Clark and Dant. $27.88 for Drew Clark, 10:05.10. He's about a second over his national record pace. So he'll have to pick things up here in the last 500 to make that happen if he wants to get below last year's time. Here we go, 1,200-yard mark. We still have 450 to go after Drew hits his feet to the pads here on the starting block end. Drew Clark, he's a 2-time champ, and he's at 11:00:58, 1 second above his national record pace. Dant at 11:03.50. Dant, he comes in with a time of 15:30.25. So Bishop's at 11:11.59 right now. Drew Clark on length number 52, along with Ross Dant, and here's Carl Bishop down there in lane number 3. Once again, bottom of your screen, lane 1, top of your screen, lane number 8. Drew Clark trying to take down his 3rd in a row. Been pretty dominant here in the last few years. You can see the counter. He's on length number 54. So when he completes this length, he'll have 300 to go. And his split still 27, but that's a higher 27, 27.96, 27.79. So Dant picks up a 0.3 of a second on that last 50 with 300 to go. Bishop and Erlenmeyer, third and fourth respectively. And 10 to go. Drew Clark at 12:51.66. So he's about a second and a half off his national record pace. But Ross Dan is having the swim of his life right now. So Erlenmeyer putting his kick in already. And Bishop, as I mentioned, he's a good finisher. Erlenmeyer is also. And you can see them as they were going by. And he's on length 60 now. There's Drew Clark. And here comes Erlenmeyer trying to overtake Bishop. You can see that. And then Ross Dant. Here's the turn at the start end. 13:47.35. So Erlenmeyer just surpassing Drew Clark. You'll see that momentarily as they go by. There he is in the yellow cap up there out of lane number 5, and then Ryan Waters down in lane number 1, also trying to make a move. 100 to go for our two-time champion, trying to chase down his third right now. He'll have to put some legs into it. 27.76, 14:15.11 was his split there. We'll see where this split is. He's right on national record pace. So right just above it. So Drew Clark with 50 to go. Ross Dant with 50 to go. Dant was at 14:46.56. Clark at 14:42.82. And Erlenmeyer at 14:58. So here he comes. He'll be our three-time national champion, and we'll be looking at Ross Dant a few more years. But Drew Clark goes 15:09.24. Ross Dant at 15:12.68. John Jolly, your week has been made with Ross Dant. There's Drew Clark 3 times, great chop, and he's given the greater chop as he'll be heading off to Florida this fall. So in second, Ross Dant, as I mentioned, 15:12.68. Third, Danny Erlenmeyer at 15:25.15. Erlenmeyer actually had one of the faster splits on the end there. Furley actually had a 26:03 on that last split, which was a tremendous sprint. So